Welcome to Subramani. One question which keeps coming up in almost every query is which is the best style to invest? Now, I am convinced about one thing, that there is no one best style for any person or at any point in time or for your whole portfolio. Now, look at it this way: for people who are old enough to remember or at least have read cricketing history, know that we had great players like Vijay Merchant and Vinu Mankad, right? Now, Vijay Merchant was supposed to be a very good batsman. I don't think he played too much of Test cricket. These are people who lost a lot of time due to the war, and but he played some cricket. He captained India. He was part of the Thackeray family, so came from a rich background. So he was one of those amateurs, right? After that, we had a batsman called Sunil Gavaskar. More people know him today as a commentator than as a batsman that India produced. And then we had, let's say, Azharuddin, and then G.R. Vishwanath. We had Sachin Tendulkar, and now we have Virat Kohli. I'm just picking up a few batsmen from different eras. Now, when Sunil Gavaskar came to play, obviously he would have been influenced by Vijay Merchant, but he did not copy Vijay Merchant. Similarly, Sachin did not copy Sunil Gavaskar, and now Virat Kohli is not copying Sachin, right? They all were good players, great players in their era, right? So, is there any one style of playing cricket which worked? The answer is no. You change as per circumstances, as per ground, as per the bowling, right? You do that. There's Rahul Dravid, who plays very differently from Sachin Tendulkar, and who has an equally good batting track record, and he's the only batsman. He's got a world record for the number of balls faced. I doubt whether anybody is going to touch that record, simply because now fewer number of test matches are being played, right? Now you take singing. Sorry, if you were a Hindi movie buff, right from Mohammad Rafi to Kishore Kumar, Manna Dey, you have heard all these people, right? Slightly before their era was another singer called K.L. Saigal, Kundan Lal Saigal, who used to be an inspiration to many people, so much so that Mukesh, Kishore and Lata would copy his nasal twang and sing with a slightly nasal accent. That's how they started. But later on, Mukesh had his own style, Lata of course had her own style, and Kishore had his own style. Now, why am I talking about all this? Because investment too is about styles. George Soros trades far more than perhaps even Warren Buffett, right? And Warren Buffett trades quite a bit, right? We all believe that he's a long-term investor. That is true. But if you do a decent analysis of his portfolio, he also trades a lot. Now, you take any portfolio, you will find that returns are lumpy, and it is only in particular years of the 40-year, 50-year portfolio which you are picking up, right? So, similarly, if you take Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, out of his net worth of 20,000 crores, which is again an assumption, I don't have the correct numbers, Titan alone is about 7,000 crores, which is 35%. Today, if you take Berkshire Hathaway, Apple is a very important part of their portfolio, right? So, there is no one style which suits anybody for a very long period of time. You keep changing. My own portfolio, there are some deep value stocks, some value stocks, some almost day trading. I mean, I recently got out of some sugar stocks because I just bought them some time ago. This is all, you do all kinds of things. So to think that one thing will work always permanently doesn't hold true, right? Right now in India, like the whole world, there is tremendous popularity of indexing. Why is there so much popularity? Simply because last 3-4 years, none of the big large cap funds have performed as well as the index has performed, and this is fairly obvious. A few shares have done well, and during such time it's only the index which will beat the others, unless some funds have been lucky enough to have a concentrated portfolio with those shares, right? So that is more luck rather than strategy. Now, why am I creating all this background is simply because to tell you that in many things in life, like in sales and marketing, even in meditation, there is no one style which suits you, right? There are so many gurus in meditation who come and teach you different types of meditation, right? Meditation doesn't mean closing your eyes and sitting in the Himalayas in a cave and saying, oh, I'm meditating. You can be meditating even while talking, you can be meditating even while walking, you can be meditating even while cycling, right? It's a question of how you train your mind to do that meditation. Now let us look at many of the things which you hear while investing, right? You must have heard things like sell in May and go away, correct? You've heard this, right? You would have also heard don't try timing the market, because people will tell you that time spent in the market is more important than trying to time the market. Both are sayings. So if you should not time the market, how do you sell in May and go away, right? So then you would also hear somebody saying buy the dips, and somebody saying don't catch a falling knife. So catching the falling knife is buying in dips. So should you listen to don't catch a falling knife, or should you listen to buy the dips? I can give you a bunch of such sayings which are there. You remember when Buffett says only those who do not understand diversify, and at the same time you will have a John Templeton who's saying that the only free meal in the market is asset allocation. So if you do not do asset allocation, let us take the same two people. Buffett invested largely in the US, and Templeton made a lot of money by investing in Japan. Of course, Buffett invested in a company called Coca-Cola, which invested abroad. So you can always hold portfolios in companies which have invested abroad and say I don't invest abroad, but both are true, right? And today Apple products are owned by Apple, made in China, and sold a lot even in India. So investing in Apple, does it mean you don't invest in foreign countries? Well, you don't, technically you don't, but then your products are reaching. You invest in companies which invest abroad, right? Those kind of things happen. So let us look at more such sayings where you will find both the sayings equally good and you do not know how to handle it, right? So don't try copying styles, but yes, look at this. The trend is your friend. You've also heard don't follow the trend. Only if you stand out alone in the crowd will you make money, right? You heard both. So should you listen to the first one or should you listen to the second one? You also hear things like you have to pay for quality. You will also hear somebody saying don't overpay for any share, don't overpay for it, right? Then get out when you get even, and cut your losses and move on. So what do? Do you cut your losses and move on and then find the share price go up, or do you get out and say, oh my god, thankfully I got out, and then the share price actually falls even further, right? So all these things will happen. So when you're investing, it is not that when you sell a share, after that the price will only fall. That is what you wish, that is what you think, but that is not always true. So somebody will come and tell you it's not a loss, it's just a buying opportunity, and somebody will say don't lose money. Remember Buffett's rules, don't lose money. So don't lose money largely means don't lose money in the long run. In the short run, things might be very different. You've also heard the very famous this time it is different, and also stay the course. So if it is different, how do you handle it, right? You also hear things like our back-end, our research and our back testing shows us that, right? But you can't really back test emotions. So how useful is it to say I have back tested? Because back testing is also done by a person who has a lot of bias. So right, so back testing may not always work. So what should you do when you hear such sayings? Well, don't panic, don't believe everything, read a lot, come to your own conclusion, try to find mentors if you can. Mentors and coaches can be very helpful. If you remember, Anand Gavande says you should find yourself a coach. Oh, sorry, I think it's Atul Gawande. It's Atul Gawande who's written those books like Being Mortal and Checklist Manifesto, where he says the need for having a coach, right? If Virat Kohli can have a coach, if Sachin Tendulkar had a coach, why shouldn't you as an investor try to find a coach or a mentor, right? Invest in habits. I mean, if you remember the book Atomic Habits, I think it is, I'm not very sure about the book, but yes, this thing about making small changes in your life on a daily basis and seeing its impact on your life, right? Compounding works in health, and compounding works in wealth, right? Compounding works in diet, compounding works in exercise. So do that. Be persistent, be consistent, be disciplined. These things don't change. And also, if you fail fast enough and take corrective action. Don't wait for a very long time, right? Become self-reliant. See how much of your life things which are not very important for you to learn and do, how much of it you can outsource. Work long hours, but also get your sleep. Do your exercises, get your sleep. Don't prioritize. You cannot prioritize everything. So prioritizing is very important. So should I prioritize my business? Should I prioritize my friends? Should I prioritize my health? Should I prioritize my sleep? That's a choice which you have to make. There is no, again, like I'm saying, there is no one single style which works. You need to work on the big picture, but you also have to work on the details, right? So find out which are the things which will scale and find out which are the things which will not scale. So replying to each person's email or comment on YouTube channel is not scalable. I cannot do it beyond a particular point, right? But I will try to answer queries if those queries are very different from the normal queries that I get, right? Normal queries, I can do one vlog once in a while saying these were the queries and these are the answers. I'll try both, right? I'll try all these kind of combinations. So what are the advantages of blogging? What are the advantages of blogging? There are quite a few advantages. Some people become good friends because they've met on my blog. Some people become acquaintances, and all those kind of things also happen, right? So develop your own style. You cannot copy my style to do what I have done. I have copied a lot of people, perhaps sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly. Find your own style, find your own investment style, value, deep value, trading, whatever it is. You cannot find my style, right? I've said this, I've done an episode much earlier called the Holy Grail of my Holy Grail of investing. I don't have a holy grail of investing, right? That's the whole essence of that. So create your own style, see what works and go about doing it, and that's the only way to become a good and a better investor. Thank you.